Welcome everyone to this webinar. I'm Adolf Hilary Topil from the Vision Helpdesk team, and the topic for today's webinar is service level agreement and escalations. Now, what are we going to learn in today's webinar? So we shall following how to create a work schedule, how to add holidays, how to create an SLA, ticket escalations using automation, and we'll discuss on few case studies. Now, what is a schedule? So schedule is the working hours of your staff members. So say if they're working in the shift from say 10 to 7, so that is a schedule. Now we'll see how can we create a schedule in the help desk. Now you need to log in first as the administrator. So after you log in as the administrator, you come to the admin settings. Click on the settings and then you scroll. Once you're in the admin settings, you need to scroll below to the automations. In the automations, you can find this module, the schedule. So click on that schedule. Now here, as you can see, there are certain schedules, some schedules that I've already added, like it can be a 24/7 schedule, or say the regular 10 to 7. Now to add a schedule, you need to click on this add schedule options. Now in this schedule, as there are different organizations and different staff members, they work in different shifts. Somebody work say 24/7, some work in the regular shifts, 8-hour shift. So here you need to define schedules. Now first you need to give the title for the schedule, and let's say you're giving the title for the schedule. And as you can see, there are days of the week. Now here you have the option, if it's a 24/7 schedule, you can keep this as open, 24 hours open, or if it's closed on a certain day, like say a Sunday or a Saturday, so you can keep this option as closed. Now to add your custom timing, just need to click on this add custom timing option. Now you can define the timings over here, like if you're working from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. so click on this option, and here you can define the close time, and you can click on this. Also there's an option for the add, in case if you're say working in you have a break, a lunch break, so you can also define that time. Say if your lunch time 1 2. I request you to please mute at your end. Yeah. So as you can see, you can also add the break time over here. So you click on that option, and once you have created this schedule, then you need to click on this add option. So once you have clicked on this add, you can find the schedule has been created. As you can see, the different examples over here I've created. So you can just define the hours working, and you can define the schedule. Now suppose if you are not working on certain days, now other than the regular Saturday Sundays that are off, that are having holidays, they might certain holidays during the year, international holidays, or say Independence Day, depending on the country. So you can add that holidays. So you need to go to the settings and come to the automations, and just besides the schedule, you have the option of adding the holidays. So as you can see the schedule, then you have the holidays under the automation. So click on the option, that module. Now here you can add different holidays. Now I want to add in a holiday for Christmas Day. So first I need to define the date. So defining the date, I'll select the date when the holiday is going to fall, select the month in which the holiday is. Here you can define the description, and you can define for which schedule you want this holiday, whether for 24/7 schedule or for the defined timings of your staff member. Now if the holiday you want to work, say, only for a half day, so you can click on this option, define the working hours, say from when to when you're working, and you can also define, say, half day is a holiday. So you can just click on the add option, and once you do that, so you'll be adding the holiday. So the SLA would not be applied for that holiday, it would be skipped. Then the next, we're going to see what is service level agreement. Now the service level agreement, the SLA, it is, say, the minimum level of service that is going to be provided by the service provider to the customer as per decided upon the agreement. Now the SLA also has, say, a response time and a resolution time. Now let's see how can we create an SLA in the help desk. So go to the settings, and once you're in the settings, come to the automations. So as you can see, the schedule, the holiday, so besides the holiday you have the option for the SLA. So click on this SLA module, and here there are some SLAs that I've already defined, I've created. Now you want to add an SLA, just click on this add SLA option. Now here you can give the title for the SLA. And then you can select the schedule, say for which schedule you want to define this SLA, whether for 24/7 schedule or for any regular shift which you want to. Now here you can define your response time and you can define your resolution time, and just click on this add option. So you'll be adding the SLA. Now since you can add the SLA here, you can add multiple SLAs which will help you to manage the response time and the resolution time that you have defined in that multiple SLAs. Then we'll see the how can we create ticket escalations using the workflows. Now what are workflows? So basically workflow is how you get the work done. So the workflow in the help desk is based on event, and based on that event you're matching an action, a criteria, and based on that criteria you're taking a desired action. Now let's see how can you manage SLA automation using the workflow. So you need to go to the settings and come to the automations, and just besides the SLA you will find the workflow. So click on this workflow option. In this workflow you can see there are different workflows that I've already added, like you have a default workflow, you have, say, an escalation rule workflow, different SLAs I've already added. Now to add a workflow you need to click on this add workflow option, and as you know the workflow, it is based on the event and you can match certain criteria over here and you can take a desired action. Now give the title for the workflow. You can select the event, say, as new incident, and now here you can define the conditions, say subject if it contains a certain word, or if the client email contains, or else if I just keep this as blank, say I want for all new tickets that come in, I want to take a desired action, I want to say apply a certain SLA. So on the actions I'll scroll below, here I can apply, say I want to apply a default SLA, so I'm applying a default SLA. So any new ticket which comes in would have this default SLA applied. and I just scroll below and I click on this add option. So any new ticket comes in would have that particular SLA that I've selected applied. Then we'll see how can we add a escalation rule to the SLA. Now to add an escalation rule, here you need to go again, you give the title, say an escalation SLA, or any name which you want to give, which you could distinguish that workflow. Now here you need to select the event. I'm selecting the event as a new incident, and I want this to be applied for over here. Let's say now in this case, since I want to create an escalation rule, now here I will select the event as overdue. So on event overdue, so whenever ticket becomes overdue, and here I'm just keeping this as blank, so it would be applicable for all tickets that get overdue. Now here on it becomes overdue, so I want an SLA, a particular SLA to be applied. So in this SLA, here I can select. So from the default SLA, now I want the next level to be applied, the next level SLA to be applied. So I select that particular SLA, and I can also send an email notification, say to the staff member. So I can just click on this, an alert template to be forwarded. So I can send it to the particular staff member, say the administrator or the next level staff. And then I just click on this add option. So once I do this, I'll be creating an workflow. So on a particular incident, when it gets overdue, so this workflow would be applicable and it would be escalated to the next level, the next person who's going to be responsible to take care of this incident. Then we have certain case studies which we'll be discussing upon. Now, what are case studies? So case study is basically you're doing an in-depth research of a certain subject along with its conditions. So you're studying that thoroughly and you're getting a desired, you're studying that, so you're getting a desired output from that, like how you can apply it within your organization. Now the first case study that we have is for the tours and travels. Now this tours and travels, the customers of this tours and travels used to contact the tours and travels company mostly through emails. Now let's see what are the challenges faced by this tours and travels. So some of the challenges were that the customer used to contact over multiple email addresses of the tours and travels. So the tours and travels had different departments, say the customer care department or the sales department. So the customers used to contact them on these different departments. Then they had a challenge of the timely response that should be given within the 8-hour shift. And if the incident is not responded in time, a notification should be sent to the administrator. Now, Vision Helpdesk, using Vision Helpdesk, what solution we offered them? The first challenge, that was the customer used to contact over multiple email addresses. Now this solution was provided by Vision Helpdesk. So the multiple email addresses were mapped to multiple departments within the Vision Helpdesk. Now this was done through the email queue. So in the settings, when you come to the email, so here there is the option to add the email queue. So go to the email queue module, and here just click on this add email queue option. Now if you have an email address, let's say it's support@yourdomainname.com, this is your email address that you already have and your customers contact you on this email. So you want this email to be mapped to a respective department. So you can map it, let's say, to the technical department. You can define the fetch type, whether it's simple forwarding, pipe, POP3 or IMAP. And then you just click on this add option. So you're basically adding an email queue. So whenever your end user sends you an email on this email ID of yours, domain, so that email would be received to the respective department within the help desk. So this helps you to manage your clients. Then the next challenge was that the timely response was required within the 8-hour shift. Here, the solution that Vision Helpdesk provided, that we defined a default 8 hours workflow. So the workflow, as we discussed, you can define the default workflow based on the event criteria and the desired action that you can take. Then the next challenge was that if the incident is not responded in time, then the notification should be sent to the administrator at the next level. So the solution which Vision provided was that a notification was sent to the administrator whenever the SLA was overdue. Then the next case study was about a bank. Now the customers used to contact mostly through the client portal. So the challenges that were met by this bank was there was a load of tickets. So it was very hectic workload, and it required a human interaction where they had to manually assign to the different staff who's going to be responsible to solve that incident. And the important issue, time span, it was not calculated. Also another challenge was that if the incident was not responded in time, so there was no notification that could be sent to the admin. Now using Vision Helpdesk, how these challenges are met, let's see that one by one. So the hectic workload, so the different incidents that were coming in, it was mapped to the respective departments, and the customers send the query with the proper fields. So when in the portal, there are fields that the customer selects themselves, and they also provide, and when the incident comes in, so it provides the staff an option in case if the customer has wrongly selected a field, the staff could put in the appropriate field over there. Then the next challenge, that was a human interaction which was required for manual assignment. So here, using the auto assignment of tickets to the staff members via the round robin module. So using round robin, how you could assign your tickets to the staff members, let's see that. So you need to come to the settings, and in the automation you have the option that next to the alerts you have the round robin module. So click on the round robin. Now here you can assign tickets to the respective team or to the respective staff members. So how to add a round robin? Click on the add round robin option. Here you can define the title, to which team you're assigning, or give the title for the round robin. You can define for which schedule are you going to apply this round robin. So define the schedule. You can here you can give the display order, that if you have multiple round robins, so you can give the display order over here. Then here you can select a certain criteria or subject accordingly. Now since if I'm not selecting anything over here, so any ticket which comes in this schedule, all would be assigned to the respective team that I'm going to select under the actions. Now I want say these tickets directly to be assigned to the technical support team. So all the members present in the technical support team would be assigned tickets one by one using the round robin, or I can assign it to an individual staff, say to the administrator or to the next level staff. I can define that over here. I can also have an email sent to the staff that a ticket has been assigned, or an alert template. Now if I click on this escalation rule, if the ticket remains unassigned, say for more than certain number of hours or minutes that I have defined, I can assign it to the next level person, to the next staff member. I can also have an escalation email sent to that particular staff, and I click on this add option. So I'll be adding a round robin, so the human interaction is minimized using the round robin. Then the next challenge that the bank faced was that the important time span was not calculated. Now here Vision Helpdesk, by creating the auto SLAs, and the reports, so you can get this time span calculated. So you can just come to this your help desk, you click on this modules. So in this module you have the option of reports. If you click on reports, once you're inside the reports, go to all reports. Then you have this the escalation and the SLA modules. When you click on that, you would get different department wise SLA or the client wise SLA, all the options you can find. So you can get different reports over here. Then the next challenge that we faced, the bank had faced, now if the incidents was not responded within the time, so notification should be sent to the administrator. Now using the overdue rules, here you can create the multi-level SLA. And the next case study was the enterprise company. Now the enterprise company, they already had an existing website and their customers contacted using the contact us form or the emails. Now the challenges that they faced by the enterprise company was, it was very difficult to manage inquiries using their old help desk, as the information was needed to be filled in that help desk ticket, so it was not being done, and the staff was working in multiple time zones, so the SLA management was a bit difficult, it was not easy. And since it was a global request used to come in, so it needed a multi-level SLA or a 4-level escalation that could be applied, and the issues are not solved. So these were the challenges faced by the enterprise company. Now here let's see how Vision Helpdesk helped this enterprise company to meet these challenges and gave an appropriate solution. So the challenge was, it was very difficult to manage using the previous help desk that they had. Now Vision Helpdesk, the contact us form in which the customers used to contact. So Vision Helpdesk used the API, and using that API all the fields were mapped to the ticket, and the respective staff members, they were granted access to that ticket. So you can define the access and roles to your staff members. Then the next challenge was that the staff was working in multiple time zones. So SLA management was difficult. So the staff has a time zone setting, so which shows in their tickets. And this helped to streamline the SLA management. If you just come to your login and the help desk, if you click on this profile option and you go to the profile, so once you're in your profile, you can find the time zone setting over here. So accordingly, you have selected the time zone. So all the tickets, the response time and the resolution time, it would be according to the time zone which you have selected. Then the next challenge that was faced by the enterprise company was that they used to receive global requests, and to manage this they never had a 4-level escalation, and the issues were not being resolved properly. So here the solution was that we created different teams, like teams consisted say of engineers, supervisors, managers, and the management or the VP teams. So the teams were created and the tickets were escalated to them based on the SLAs and the overdue time. So tickets were escalated properly to them. So all the issues were resolved. Uh, you may type your questions so I can get them answered.
Hello, hello. Yeah, I'm asking one question. What is the retroactive pause in SLA?
Uh, can you
Hello.
please type your question? Your voice was not very clear. I request you to please type your question.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay.
So we have a question from Rahul, and Rahul has asked, what is a retroactive pause, or how can you pause an SLA and how it works? So I'll be showing that to you, Rahul. So you need to come to the settings and just scroll below. Now you need to go to the automations, come to the workflows. Now let's say if I'm going inside the workflow. Now here you can define the event and define the criteria, and in the action, so when you scroll below, it's in the SLA state, you have the option to pause the SLA. So here once you have done this, then you just click on this add option. So you will be adding the workflow, so where you can do the pause using the workflow. You can also do a manual pause by going to say the particular ticket, and here you have the option where you could go to the SLA and you could just manually pause the SLA. So if you're given that rights to your staff members, you can also say if you're also clicking on this mass reply option, here you have the option to apply an SLA, a particular SLA. Now you can also define a default SLA, or you can create an SLA, or you can also create or remove an SLA using this option. So I hope that answers your query, Rahul.
Hello, can I speak? Hello? Yeah, sure. Can I speak? Uh, Actually, you explained the pause condition, but I am asking the retroactive pause. Yeah, you listen.
Rahul, could you just rephrase your question? Or, yeah, you could please be a little bit more elaborative.
Yeah, just you explain the pause condition, but I am asking the retroactive pause condition.
Okay, Rahul, maybe I can, we can have this discussed, say on a meeting which we'll schedule to you. Yeah, because we have another question currently now. So I'll discuss this with you again. We have a question by Lisa. Can I create a rule which trigger after overdue time? Yes, Lisa had a question where can I create a rule which trigger after overdue time? Yes, Lisa, this is possible. You can create the rule which will trigger after the overdue time. Yeah, and which can be done using the workflow. Let me just show that to you. Go to the settings, come to the workflows under the automation. Now, if I'm selecting the event, say on overdue, now I want this to be applied, say for all the tickets that have been overdue. So I will keep the subject equals to blank. And in the action, here I could select, say the next level SLA. I can apply the rule, say after the overdue. So I'm selecting this and then I'm clicking on the add option. If I want, I can also send a notification, an alert template to the staff. You're welcome, Lisa. I can get them answered. So it seems that we have no further questions. So thank you everyone for joining this webinar. So you can get in touch with us on our email ID, that is sales@visionhelpdesk.com. You can also contact us on our Skype ID, that is vision.helpdesk. Thank you everyone.